right, we are at NXT TakeOver in your house.
Just kind of get things started. What's your name and pronouns, and what do you do?
Alicia Taylor, go by she and her. What do I do? WWE ring announcer, lead ring announcer for NXT, also WWE live event host and senior manager of the announce team, which a lot of people don't know, I guess. They think I have like the Tuesday night job and that's it, but I have a 7-day-a-week job with WWE as a manager as well. So I stay busy.
Wow, and that I didn't know at all, because I was under the same assumption that you work Tuesdays and then that you would work the live events over the weekend on occasion. So that's all I knew.
Yeah,
I didn't know that you were that you had all that going on as well. That's exciting. That's cool. That's exciting.
absolutely. Yeah.
What inspired you to pursue music at such a young age? Did you have like some family support when you first kind of discovered your love of music? Because starting out you were a drummer first.
Yeah, so I was a drummer professionally for many years. Started playing around Michigan. There was always music when I was growing up in the household. My mom listened to like R&B and classic rock. My sister was a metalhead and hip hop in there as well. And then my uncle, he was a big hair metal guy, and he actually got a drum set, and I kind of fell in love with that. But yeah, I started really early. I started playing guitar when I was like 10 years old. My uncle, like I said, he got this insane 18-piece drum set, looked like a Van Halen kit, right? And
All
then
right.
I fell in love with that, fell in love with drums right away and started playing and touring around with a lot of local bands in Michigan.
What was it like to tour with bands at such a young age? Because you were getting out there when you were like 15, 16, right?
Yeah, actually even younger. Like I started touring at 15, but I started playing in like the bars and clubs and stuff in Saginaw, believe it or not, when I was like 13,
No way.
which is pretty insane. And like my mom had to accompany me to the gigs because I couldn't be in a bar at 13. But I was playing my first band. Everybody was like 19 to 25, and I was this 13-year-old little girl out there. But we were gigging and like we were playing Alice in Chains, Metallica, Megadeth covers, and it was pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome to hear that you got like that you had some support from your mother too, even accompanying you to the shows. That's pretty sweet. I think that's pretty sweet. It's awesome that she's been
Mom's
like your backbone for you.
Mom has always been awesome. She's always up front, no matter the time period, whether it was a big camcorder on her on her shoulder or her little wind-up camera. She still has her little wind-up camera. She still has a flip
Oh,
phone today. Her pictures are terrible now, but she still supports. She comes to every show that I do.
oh, that's sweet. Moms are the best, right?
Yeah.
Uh, did you face any challenges in your youth at the time when you were touring around Michigan, and or did the rock world kind of welcome you with open arms?
Well, if they didn't, I wasn't going to care about it. I was just going to kick that door in anyway. That's
Yeah,
how I've
fair
always
enough.
been in life. No, I didn't. I mean, touring, it's all I've really known, right? Like you said, I started so young. At first there was some problems with like finding people to play with at such a young age because they're like, this young girl can't play, right? But
Hmm.
I just needed one band to give me that opportunity and let me get in the door. And then no, I didn't. I mean, it was go time from there.
What kind of bands did you end up playing with during your time in Michigan?
Michigan, I played with a lot of post-punk, hardcore, and metal bands. I toured a lot with a band called Fudge Gun. They were out of the Flint area. Played with some metal bands in Saginaw, but I did most of the touring with Fudge Gun. Like we did, by the time I graduated high school, we had done most of the United States and released like 2 albums by the time I graduated. So yeah, most of my stuff came from them.
Did it Now, when you were going around touring, how did it feel to finally leave Michigan and explore some new opportunities outside?
I loved Michigan, but I felt like I had exhausted all avenues there. Like I'd played with everyone, like the people of a certain caliber, right? I had played with everyone in Saginaw, Flint, Detroit area, and felt that I had exhausted Michigan. And then I got a call from a band in Los Angeles that was looking for a drummer, and I was like, LA, all right, why not? You know, I had never imagined LA for myself, but I packed everything in my car. I had like $700 and just drove myself out to California and started working with bands out there.
Wow, what was it like in the first few months in California?
Really, really stressful. I think the first year or two was super stressful. I was homeless a couple of times, super poor, you know, $700 didn't go far. Yeah, I was poor, I was homeless a couple different times, and then just struggled. It was a struggle. LA at the time that I moved there was certainly not the Los Angeles that we know and love today. Like, it was gritty, it was rough, it was not the hipster haven that we now have of Los Angeles. So it was a struggle for sure for a couple years.
So when you got to LA, you've gotten to work with a lot of different bands, and over the years, eventually you got a call to get to work with Kelly Osborne. What was it like when you found out that you got to work with Kelly Osborne, and did you feel that opened some doors to your career at all?
Definitely open doors. Kelly is incredible. I'll start by saying that I'm still very good friends with Kelly Osborne and Sharon. They're the best, two of the
Aw,
best people
cool.
that I know. Ozzy as well, but like I've always had a close relationship with Kelly and Sharon. Like I said, a lot of struggle in Los Angeles. So it was kind of like I went from homeless, kind of struggling, but I got a house at one point, right? Like, lived with some roommates, and then it was 5-star hotels and tour buses and everything with Kelly. So I was working in a restaurant at the time, and got a call that Kelly Osborne was looking for a drummer. And this was at like the height of the Osbournes reality show on MTV. So with that came the camera crew and, like, you know, all that crazy stuff. So I auditioned for Kelly. Wasn't expecting to get the job just because I had never done anything at that level before. And I didn't know what to expect. But I went in, did the audition with Kelly's band, got a call pretty much immediately after I got home that day, and they're like, Kelly and Sharon want to meet with you. So I went back, met with them, and the MTV crews were there, and it was, you know, from that point forth, it was like, here's your schedule for the next 5 months. And it was the Tonight Show and Ellen DeGeneres show, the Today Show, like basically every every talk show and everything in the US and the UK. We did a lot of touring like right away. And I was like, so I should quit my job then? They're like, yeah, you got to call your job. No problem. Called that dumb restaurant. And I was like, see ya.
Elliot, get
But it was
out of there.
Get out, please.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Osbournes definitely opened up a lot of doors for me. I forever grateful for them giving me the opportunity. And you know, from there went on to work with Miley Cyrus and the Hannah Montana show for a couple of years, and Lilix, who was a band on Warner Brothers in Canada, and bunch of different people.
You're on. Were you actually? So you toured with like Miley Cyrus during her Hannah Montana period?
You can see me in all of the concert footage on Hannah Montana.
Oh
Like,
wow.
in every single Hannah Montana music video. And then yeah, did the UK with Miley, and like all that stuff as Hannah Montana was starting for, like I said, the first 2 years of the show.
Oh wow. That takes me back. Oh man. Um, so you've played with a variety of artists over the years, and as you just told me, what's your like, wow, I can't believe I'm like really here moment while on some of these tours?
Literally every single job. That sounds crazy, but I thank the Lord. Like, I've been blessed with a lot of full circle moments in life. Um, like, growing up, I loved En Vogue, and then I ended up playing with Don Robinson of En Vogue and like doing all of those songs. Tracy Chapman, I worked on a video with Tracy Chapman, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, American Idol. You know, the list goes on. And I, honestly, like every gig, I'm like, how did this happen? Like, how did I like how did I sneak in here? You know, I say that and I joke about it, but I've worked, like I have put in the work. And I think if you put in the work and remain humble and a good person throughout, like you stop and you just look back at all those moments, and it's like I'm very appreciative of every job I've done.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever encountered any difficulties when adapting to a different kind of music genre or style when working with any other artists?
Some are easier and I think more fun in general to play. Like I'm a metalhead at heart, but I listen to everything from country and hip hop and rap to death metal, right? So like, and like I said earlier, I've grown up around all different styles of music, so it kind of just comes naturally when moving across the genres. Like, but I've never taken a job with a musical artist that I didn't actually like and appreciate their music, because where's the fun in that?
Yeah,
So I
100%.
don't think there's really any difficulty in learning the songs. Like I said, just because I've always listened to everything.
What kind of projects do you work on though in between your musical acts?
In between musical acts.
Or in between like those different in between with different artists?
Well, at the time, so I'm not really doing music now, but I started a YouTube series called Heavy Wrestle, and that's kind of how the wrestling came into it. I've always been a wrestling fan since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Started going to matches back in Saginaw at the Dow Event Center. So I started a YouTube series with a friend of mine called Heavy Wrestle, where I interviewed like WWE legends and then just work with some wrestlers and wrestling promotions around the Southern California area. So I worked on that for like a year or two in between my last musical projects.
Okay, all right. Well, I was curious and I was looking into a lot of your a lot of your music, seeing a lot of things that you've done over the years, and I did come across Dorne. What can you tell me about Dorne?
Dorne was a death metal project of mine, solo project. So I did everything. I did the death metal vocals, the bass, guitar, keys, and drums. I did the whole project myself. And that was just kind of like I had been playing in the pop world for so long with like the Miley Cyrus, a bunch of Disney acts and stuff like that. And I was missing the metal from my life. So it was just a project that I started towards, like I said, towards the end of my music stuff that I was doing. Worked on an EP, released a couple of music videos for that. Yeah. But it was my death metal project.
That's really cool. Like doing everything all together at once. That must be hard doing like the bass, drums, singing, guitar, everything together. I can't imagine doing that. Like you have like impeccable talent. It's crazy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you could, you got your talents between every like it seems like all instruments, but if you could choose another position in a band, what would it be?
Guitar. I've played guitar in bands as well. Like I said, drums are my main thing. That's my heart. But yeah, I would play guitar in a band for sure.
It's awesome. You also got like a great like voice too. I was so bummed when you weren't doing war games this year because like all my friends were like, "Come on, we got to hear Alicia say war games. She's the best."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. How did you get involved in WWE, by the way? It's you to bring your passion into a career like this with ring announcing.
So, like I said, I started Heavy Wrestle, and you know, I I honestly didn't even see WWE as a potential path, right? Because it just seemed really unobtainable. And I had never seen anyone in WWE growing up that looked like me, right? We always see a very particular style of ring announcer and on-camera hosts and things like that. So like it didn't even really cross my mind. I was just like, I'll just do my own thing, start my own thing. So I started Heavy Wrestle, and a friend of mine, Rhino, you know Rhino
Oh
from
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
so he saw my show and he's like, did you ever think about working for WWE? I was like, well, yeah, duh, but doesn't seem possible. And so he took my show and showed it to a couple people at WWE, which led to an audition. And Needless to say, the audition went well. Here we are. December 1st. This week is 5 years that I've
Oh
been at
wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome that it was that Rhino like was the guy who was like, "Hey, you guys gotta check this out." It's really cool.
Rhino's the guy. Yeah.
Oh, he is such a guy. My me and my friends met him like 5, 6 years ago. Just one of the sweetest, nicest people you could ever meet.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it,
Oh
but he
God,
is the
does not look like just looks like a big manly
Let's not blow his
beast.
gimmick. Let's not blow his gimmick.
Nah.
He-
uh, the man beast. Can you describe your emotions when that you felt when you first returned to your hometown for the WWE?
yeah. I mean, so I performed my hometown, Saginaw, I think 2019 for the first time. 20. I think 2020. Yeah. 2020 was the first one, and then to be back a couple weeks ago. Walking into the Dow Event Center, like I said, I had gone to many shows there as a child. My mom used to take me to all of the wrestling events that came there. I saw all the greats in that arena, right? And a lot of the people that I get to work with today. It was just crazy, like from everything going into the locker room and then just really taking in that moment of, wow, like I used to be here, as a little girl, and now I'm on the other side, on the other side of the barricade and like holding the microphone. It's crazy. It was crazy to me, and just a blessing to be able to look out in the crowd and see my mom there, and be able to like, just share that moment with my mom, because she, like I said, has been there through it all, and took me to every single wrestling event that came through Saginaw, whether we had money for it or not. Like, she found a way to take me there. So really cool to be able to share that with her and look out and see her in the crowd, and my aunt and uncle, my sister, my nephew were there this past time. And just a really cool one of those, like I said, one of the full circle moments that was really incredible.
Oh, I cannot imagine like just to be in that ring and have your family there. It just must be a dream come true, really.
Absolutely. Everything. My whole life. It's all a dream come true.
Best way to live. Do you incorporate your music skills into your ring announcing talents at all?
For sure. Yeah. So when I started ring announcing, like I had never done ring announcing before. And starting with WWE, it was like you hear things from different people of like what you should be doing, right? And so the first couple of years I felt really lost with kind of taming down my look, like from rock world to like being a little more presentable of what I thought like WWE needed from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And listening to people like, oh, you need to straighten up your voice, let's do vocal lessons and get, I was like, this doesn't feel right, doesn't feel like me. And one day at an NXT rehearsal, Triple H came over to me and he's like, hey, aren't you a metal singer? I said, yeah. He said, then give me your metal voice. And I was like, really? Okay. I was like, well, everybody's been telling me not to do that. He's like, nope. He's like, give me your metal voice. I said, no problem. So then I was like, and he's like, that's it. That's you. That's what I want from you. I was like, yes. Okay. Now I can like relax a little bit and like play with this, right? And it's like, okay, that's my true voice, and that's what I'm comfortable with. So definitely incorporating my metal, all my death metal stuff into my ring announcing for sure.
Hell yeah. I remember like when you first kind of like debuted in NXT, you had like this unique look that no one else had. And over the years, NXT as a brand kind of started like having this like heavy metal identity. And you as like the ring announcer were like so perfect for it. It had like the heavy metal intro and the aesthetic. And you as like the host of ring announcer, you were like the centerpiece that completed like that whole thing at the time. It was perfect.
So much. Yeah, NXT is my heart. I love NXT back in the black and gold era that you're talking about, when we had Slipknot as the theme song and everything. That was cool. And then I think, NXT's really evolved and grown it's just a special place. It's a special place to be.
It's so good. Definitely probably my favorite show to catch every weekend for sure. Every week. There's always
NXT,
something insane happening and it's just great. I love it.
gotta watch out for that NXT parking lot.
Oh man, that's so dangerous. Oh man. I'm a bummed that looks like my transfer ship to Chase U won't go through.
Yeah, they're having a little problem right now. We'll
Little
see.
problem. How did you manage to balance your time between NXT and your music career ongoing? I know you told me that you don't have a lot going on, but if you were to have some things in between, how do you balance a lot of that?
So like I said, I'm WWE is, I mean, that's my main focus, that's my priority. And like I said, with managing as well, like I do so much more than what you see on TV on Tuesday nights, right? So it does take up all my time. But um in the past year, I got into like doing some drum covers and drumming videos. Been working with WWE director Christopher Huntley, and he's done some drumming videos with me. We did Bianca Belair, Nikita Lyons, and then most recently Zoe Stark. I did a drum cover of her, so check out those videos. And then that's I'll keep doing that stuff, like doing the theme songs and playing along to the Superstars theme song entrances and stuff like that. But aside from that, like I said, WWE is the focus. I have a studio set up in my house so I can play at any time that I want, and that's good for the creativity for me. But with WWE, like I don't miss the touring or anything like that because I still travel all the time with WWE. I'm out this weekend starting the WWE holiday tour, and it's good. Life is good.
Good. Is there anything else that you'd like to share at all?
Well, like I just mentioned, check out all of December, WWE Live Holiday Tour. Get your tickets for that. And then, of course, Saturday, December 9th, it's NXT Deadline. It is a huge event. It's our final premium live event of the year, taking place in Connecticut, and you can catch it streaming live exclusively on Peacock.
Not only that, where can we catch you every Tuesday night, Alicia?
Every Tuesday night on the USA Network, NXT.
Awesome. Thank you again so much for your time today, Alicia. That's all the questions I have for you.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you and talking to you.
It was great meeting you and talking with you too. Again, I cannot thank you again so much.